Wow, do you saw that? Look at this. Yeah. Hey friends, it's Jackeline here. In today's video, I'm bringing you my review, demo, swatches, comparisons on the brand new MARC JACOBS Cafe Collection. But before we get started, and if you're new here, I hope that you can give me that opportunity and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you ring that post notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads, and come and follow me on my Instagram. And now, if you're ready to know more details about this new face palette and this extra shot concealer foundation, if you work on mature skin, and if you really covers very dark under eye circles, then just keep on watching. MARC JACOBS just dropped a new collection, the Cafe Collection, with a extra shot concealer, which I'm really intrigued of, and then this new Omega ×3 palette actually comes in two formats. We will talk about them in a little. These products are available at Sephora. I will be leaving the links of everything that I will be using today on the description box below. You know it's real right there. But yeah, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, okay, I'm very interested. So we're going to start with the extra shot concealer, because as you can see, I have really dark under eye circles. Like, I have blue, kind of greenish tint to them. Also, I have kind of like, you know, like what they call set eyes or divots on my under eyes. So they are very notorious. And anytime that there's a concealer that has certain claims, I'm like very intrigued about it. Mostly if it says something that is cafe, an extra shot, that means that it will awaken. Now this concealer comes in 30 different shades. It costs $39 and it's supposed to have caffeine, also has some oat in it for calming and soothing, and also has coconut. I'm very curious to see if it's gonna be like creamy and how is the coverage going. It says that it's supposed to be a full coverage concealer. It also said that it's supposed to be a creamy concealer. And talking about creaminess, I'm on my 4th floor, so I do have a lot of fine lines under my eyes, and the least that I want is for the concealer to crease. And something very important to me for this 2021, if you haven't watched my resolution tag, is that to avoid using setting powders. I know, and that includes my under eye area. So I have been trying to avoid it completely, but we will see how this concealer goes, and then I will assess the situation and see if I need to set it or not. Also, this concealer, you're supposed to also use it as a foundation. It says caffeine, concealer, and foundation. So I don't know about the foundation part, because I mean, if we talk on the side of the concealer, let me show it to you how it comes. It's this one right here, and the shade that I got is 200. This is a frosted glass bottle, which looks very elegant, luxurious, high-end. I mean, like very, very nice packaging. I love the gold, the simplicity of it too. But okay, if we go back to the weight, if we talk about concealers, I think it comes with a very generous amount. Let me tell you right here, it comes with 0.54 fluid ounces. So if we go back to the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, this one right here that everybody was like, wow, this is so big. This one comes with 0.50 fluid ounces. So basically just a little bit more in mLs. This one is 16 mLs, this one is 15 mLs. So, I mean, you're getting a little bit more right here. It doesn't seem like because of the packaging, but it is. And then as far as longevity goes, both of these has a shelf life of 12 months. Now, if we go to kind of like a regular concealer, and one that I use pretty often too is the Pat McGrath concealer. This one comes with 5 mLs or 0.16 fluid ounces. So I mean, these two right here kind of leaves you in the midway of a concealer. But then if we talk about the size of a foundation usually comes with 30 mLs. So this is half the size, or a little bit over half the size. So I think perhaps for touch-ups, I don't know. Let's just give it a try, give it a go. And by the way, if I haven't told you, this product is made in France. I already have my foundation on. Now, to be honest with you, the shade seems very light for my skin tone. I will have to check if it actually, wait, that's very light. Yeah, that's very light. But it has a lot of coverage. I feel that it's full coverage. Let's see if it oxidizes. And I'm just gonna go ahead and swatch the Pat McGrath concealer. This one is in the shade LM10. Okay, fairly close. The Pat McGrath one is just a dash more peach in it, and that's another thing that I was looking at when selecting the concealer, is to have a little bit of peach undertone, because that helps me out canceling this discoloration right here. I usually use also a color corrector, but for today's demo I'm not gonna use it. And this one right here is in light beige, so since I have it right here, I'm just gonna swatch it so you can take a look at it. Yeah, the Pat McGrath one is a lot more peach. I also picked up another shade, but it hasn't arrived yet. So I have a deeper shade on these, but let's see about the formulation. It seems to have a little bit more coverage, and it seems like just a little bit thicker than the Pat McGrath. And then as far as finish goes, it's supposed to give you a natural finish. And for what it seems like right here from the swatch, it seems like yes, it could be. Okay, guys, let's see if this caffeine shot wakes up my under eye area. Oh my goodness. I think that's enough. It feels like it's full coverage. And I'm gonna go ahead and just use my sponge. I like to take my concealer also right here on the corners, and then whatever is remaining, I just take it over my eyelid too. Wow, do you saw that? Look at this. Yeah, what a difference. What a difference. Okay, this is just the start of it. Let's see how it goes. And you know, the oats are also supposed to be calming and soothing for your under eye area and for your skin in general. So I like that idea. And I like the idea of the coconut for hydration. Although with coconut, I mean, if you have allergies to coconut, you know, just make sure you do a patch test, because you know, you don't want to have a breakout, obviously. Not saying that you will, but you know how this goes. You know what, I also have been using a brush to spread my concealer. So I can only imagine that with a brush you will get even more coverage. Okay, so here's the coverage that I have achieved. I think it's pretty good. The divots that you see under my eyes, there's nothing that I can do about it unless I put fillers, you know, and that will just, you know, even out, you know, that space and the way that they are sunken in, but it is what it is. I'm gonna go ahead and just do another dot right there and another dot right here, and I'm gonna use my Pat McGrath brush, and I'm just gonna tap it in on that area just to see if I can camouflage even more. Okay, so far so good. As far as if it oxidized, it really didn't. You know, the Pat McGrath one, it did oxidize, and as you can tell, it has more peach in it. This kind of started brightening. Now it is very early morning, I need to get going, and so what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna step off the camera. You're not gonna feel it at all, so you may have not even felt it, but I stepped out, did the breakfast for my kids, and I just came back, and I just want you to see my under eye area. I don't see any creasing. Let me just zoom you in a little more. So as you can tell, it's not creasing. It does have a natural leaning to radiant finish. Do you see that little luminosity right there? Just a dash. And you know what? It's not creasing on me, and I do have a lot of folds. I do have a big line right here, big lines right here. It doesn't set by itself, so if you want to set it, I will suggest you to set it. I'm gonna leave it this way, and I'm just gonna go about my day like this, and then I will check back with you or leave it on a pinned comment to let you know how this concealer worked. Okay, now let me zoom you out so we can try the face palette. I have to say that I really love this unicorn right here, the Cafe MARC Jacobs Omega ×3. This comes in two versions, one that is for light to medium skin tone, and the other one is for medium to deeper complexions. Not so, I don't think it's for rich complexions, but you know, like medium to deep. And this is basically the same size as the Omega bronzer. So let me just show you how it comes. I think they did a beautiful job as far as the packaging goes. This is kind of like marble. It has the same clasp closure. It's gold. I mean, it looks super pretty, super, I mean, like, it's high end. You can feel it. I mean, it looks beautiful. So the shade that I got is 200 Fantastic Glow. A really nice size mirror. You have your blush, bronzer, and highlighter. Let me tell you that the highlighter looks a little bit deep. It's more on the golden tone, but let's just give it a swatch. Now, this bronzer right here is an existing bronzer from MARC Jacobs. Is kind of like the OG for MARC Jacobs, which is fantastic. And then the smell is that, I don't know, people say that it's a coconut smell. I feel kind of like a beachy smell, but not really a coconut. Not really super coconutty, but yeah, I mean, like, I have never like been like super, I love it. I love, you know, when it's coconut, I know. Okay, let's just give it a swatch right here. The blush is a beautiful, kind of like between a pink and a peach shade. I think it will be very flattering for many skin tones. There you go. And by the way, I will be leaving all my foundation matches on the description box below for your convenience, so that way you know what is my skin tone. I'm in the light to medium spectrum. Now, when I posted a picture on my Instagram of this baby right here when it launched and it got available, a lot of people were asking me, what about a regular brush? So this is kind of the brush that I usually use to apply my bronzer, and let me tell you that it fits fine in there. I mean, perhaps if I, you know, like dab it in too much, it will grab a little bit of the highlighter or the blush, but I don't think so. I think it's just perfectly fine because this is such a large pan. And by the way, this product costs $49. It has a shelf life of 12 months and is made in the United States. Okay, so this one right here gives me a natural kind of bronze. Now let's try the blush with my Synergy Soft Cheek. And this one right here is a brush. If you have been watching my videos, you know that I always use this, well, pretty much always I use this brush right here for blush. So, and it fits perfectly fine. This is a beautiful shade. Very natural. Just give a hint of flush to the skin. And now let's go for the highlighter. Yes, this is the same formula. Now this has a more of like a gold undertone. You see right there. You can buff it and work it on your skin. It's not like super beaming. And because I do have kind of like a warm undertone, I think it works really well with my skin tone. Now I do have some MARC Jacobs highlighters, but the only one that kind of like remind me a little bit of, not even too much, I think even this one right here will be more alike to the palette that is for deeper complexions. This one right here is in the shade Guilty and it came in this limited edition packaging. If I find it, I will make sure to put it down the description box below. But this one has a chip of rose gold and gold. It's beautiful, stunning. Then there's another one that is, I think it's called Runway, and that one right there is lighter. It's kind of like whitish in tone. So let's just give it a swatch. Okay, these are fairly similar, although this one right here is more gold and the other one has that rose gold hue to it. Yeah, in comparison, this one is warmer in tone, the one with the gold packaging. Okay, my friends, so it has passed many hours since I had put this concealer and giving you here a check-in. And I mean, if you can tell, it's fading just a little bit. Let me just try to move it just a little bit. You can see right there, you know, but as far as creasing goes, really it didn't crease that much, you know. If you want a little bit more longevity, and I'm talking about many hours. I mean, right now it's 5 o'clock and I applied all of these, it was like 8 in the morning. So, I mean, longevity is there. But like I said, if you want to have a little bit more longevity, perhaps just powder a little. But creasing, I mean, everything fairly good. So there you go, my friends. Oh my gosh, the light. Let's just dive into my final thoughts right here. Okay, friends, so it has been a long day for me. I have been homeschooling my kids, cooking, taking care of the house. I filmed 3 videos today, so I have been busy, and literally it has passed many hours since I applied this Extra Shot Concealer Foundation product right here. So, okay, I will have to say, I do have mature under eyelids. I do have very dark under eye circles. I do have a lot of fine lines, and let me just bring you closer so you can see how my under eyes are looking like right now. So like I said again, I haven't set my under eye area. I do have fine lines, as you can tell. It has crease, but very minimal. Something that I can just tap in and it will go away. Now, does it conceal completely my under eye circles? I feel that for the most part, it has. It actually has. That I do have these hollow kind of areas right here. And like I explained before, there's nothing that I can do about those divots. I mean, that is just reflection of the light, how it's coming in. And again, I will need fillers to, you know, just make this area even, which is something that I'm not really looking forward to do, at least for right now. Perhaps in a year from now, I may adventure, you know, to get some fillers, or who knows, whatever, but not right now. So overall, as a concealer, I think it's a really good concealer. Yes, I think it's full coverage. I was really afraid because it had that coconut in it, also the oats, that it was gonna be I mean, it's a creamy concealer, but I thought it was gonna be so creamy and so thick that it will move around too much, and it hasn't actually. I'm surprised. Right now, I live in Florida. For those who are my subscribers, and maybe you have not been cutting up with my videos, I don't live in California anymore. I'm in Florida, so it's humid, it's a different type of weather right here, and it's holding on really well for not being set. So I think overall it looks beautiful. It looks natural, but a dash more radiant. Now, if for you it bothers you when your concealer creases, and what I'm talking about, the creases that it's doing is not the creases that are actually super bad, those that really itch you. No, it's just very, 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 you know, like pretty much unnoticeable. Like I said, I can just tap in and that's it. But if it bothers you too much, I will suggest then, you know, go ahead and set it with, you know, your favorite setting powder for under eyes, and then you should be fine. I think longevity, I mean, for not being set, it has been there for a long time. Now, I'm really intrigued how it's gonna look if I do the method that I use in every day, where I use my color corrector and then I go with my concealer. I think this will look super, super good. I'm really excited about it. I know this is kind of like first impressions. I will definitely have to report back, but so far I really like what I see. I like that it's not super thin consistency, but it's not super creamy. It's not too heavy. It's not, I mean, it doesn't, because of all the emollients that it has, it doesn't dry up your under eye area, and that's the least, like at least on my age, and you know, anybody that have creases under the eyes, is the least that you want, you know, like more creases and to age you and to look too dry. And to me, that's just not my thing, and that's why I rather in daily basis do not, you know, set with, you know, an under eye powder. But hey, you know, it's looking really, really, really nice. Okay, so I'm really impressed about it. Now, to use it as a foundation, I see that the consistency and the natural radiance that it has, you can definitely use it as a foundation. It will depend on what makeup techniques you like. For example, if you use it as a foundation and you like to use foundation in regular basis, then I will say perhaps you will need two, one that is lighter and one that is, you know, your skin tone, to use one as concealer and one as foundation. But if you're a person that, like for example myself, from time to time I just use my Elta ND SPF, which is tinted, and then if I want to color correct, I do have like a sun spot right here, another one right here, and then obviously my under eye circles, I perhaps will just use one shade, because you know the SPF that I have that is tinted just have very minimal coverage, and it's perfect for me. So I mean, I can see, you know, you can go in different routes. For being a concealer slash foundation, I think the amount is generous, at least as a concealer. And if you want to just spot conceal, to use it kind of like to give you coverage in certain areas here and there, you know what I mean? You want something very light, mostly right now that we're using masks too. I think it's a really nice product. I mean, honestly, I'm really impressed. I really like the packaging too. You know, I'm not crazy about glass packaging. I like it because it's luxury, it's high-end, but at the same time I worry that I will drop it and crack it. But I mean, regardless, this is high-end. It looks very, very pretty. Okay, friends, now let's go into the face palette. Packaging is A+. I mean, this marble that, yes, it looks like cafe, you know, like cappuccino type of swirl. I mean, I think they did an amazing job. I love it. I love the clasp closure too. I mean, everything looks just really pretty, and it's cohesive also with the entire design and line of MARC JACOBS, so it's nothing like super different, you know. And then the pan size is really large. As you are able to see, regular brushes, they fit really well in there. I love the bronzer. I mean, it's a bronzer that is, you know, OG for many. The blush is beautiful. It's very natural and very like, it's not too pink and it's not too peach. So I think it's a really good tone for, you know, that it will please, I think, the majority of taste. Now for the actual highlighter, I think it's just a little bit too gold. Not on my skin tone, because I do pull a little bit more warm in tone, so it looks really good on my skin tone. I particularly love it, but I think for being on this palette to be for the light to medium complexion, would it have been maybe a little bit better to go with something a little bit more champagne? That is just something very personal. Honestly, I will use all of three. The highlighter is gorgeous, don't get me wrong, but that is just my personal opinion. For a light to medium, or perhaps they should have come out, I don't know, maybe with a palette for light skin tones, for medium, and then to deep. I don't know. I mean, I know it's hard, but at least, you know, they are coming out with face palettes that is not only one, but they are being a little bit more inclusive, and I honestly, I'm very, very happy about that. And then on the other side, I know the bronzer is something that a lot of people, you know, have, and, you know, is a classic on many of our collections. I wish in a way that they would have come out just perhaps with a blush and highlighter duos instead of these three kind of, you know, thing. Something kind of along the lines to this Chanel Fleur de Printemps duo right here of blush and highlighter, something like that. Smaller packaging, because I don't know, I mean, like, I'm not saying that everybody in the world has, you know, the bronzers from MARC JACOBS, but I know many of us, we do, and it could have been a little bit, you know, a little bit different, perhaps doing 3 different ones. I don't know, just an idea right there. But I mean, if I love the product, yes, I love the product. I'm very excited to see something new from MARC JACOBS, and 2 products that to me are a total hit. I mean, I will say yes, thumbs up, stamp of approval. Okay, my friends, I think this makes it for this video. I would love to know from you, are you planning to get any of these new products from MARC JACOBS, or perhaps you already got your hands on it? Have you tried? Leave all your comments on the comment section down below. And while you're at it, and if you haven't done so yet, I just think that you're waiting too long. I'm like this to hit my 10K, so please help me. And just look under this screen, it already says subscribe. Go ahead, subscribe to my channel. I have great content right here, and I upload very, very often, and I would just love to have you part of this family. So subscribe to my channel, make sure you ring that post notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads, and don't forget to come and follow me on my Instagram. Right there, I keep you posted of the new makeup releases. When something comes on restock, I give you close-up images of the products that I'm reviewing and much more. If you like this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. Also share with family and friends, and until the next time, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.